Okay, welcome to week 5 of our the new math curriculum and coding. And this week we are going to be focusing on refining some of the features of the game we've already developed. Most of the functionality that we've already put in place in the last 4 weeks will remain the same, and we're gonna refine a bit this week. So let's start with creating a bit more of an effect when our cat is moving up, down, and left and right. You'll notice right now when I move the cat, okay, there's no change in the animation. In other words, if I have the costume, if I look at the costumes over here, I have a horizontal costume which I've now renamed CF horizontal. So that stands for cat flying horizontal. I've got CF up, which stands for cat flying up. CF down, which is a new one I've created this week. And of course we have our cat mouth open, and I've added an apple in the cat's mouth as well this week, which we're also going to play with in this same sprite. So those are our 4 costumes for the cat. Now if we go back to our code and think about this for a second, when I click the up arrow, I'm going to change my cat's position by 20. That could be any number you have in there. I'm going to take the switch costume to cat flying up and add it to that function. So now when I click on the up arrow, you'll notice my cat's costume changes. But of course it's staying stuck in that up position. And that's because I haven't created a costume for it to switch back to when I click down arrow. So I'm going to go over to down arrow, take my switch costume to CF down. Okay, and remember, back in the costumes, this is CF down. Okay, and now when I go up and down, I get these 2 different effects. You could play a bit with the CF down to figure out if the angle looks right or if you might want to redraw it a bit. But for today's purposes, I think you get the idea. And then, of course, now I want to make sure I stay in the horizontal position whenever I'm using my left and right arrows. And I have not told it to go back to the other costume. So I'm going to go switch costume to CF horizontal for my right arrow so that it looks like it's flying flat. And I'm going to want to make sure I also do that for the left arrow, just so that I'm always going back to the costume I want to use each and every time I press the key that is intended for that costume. So again, up arrow, cat changes, down arrow, cat changes, right and left, my cat changes. Okay, I'm going to keep the green arrow clicked for now. And I'm going to pop over to my next piece of code. And over here, we've played with this code a bit already. So I'm gonna put back together the parts that we already know go together. So I'm going to take my if and else statement. I'm going to throw it inside my forever loop. And remember, when something's inside a forever loop, the game is always going to check if those conditions are true. And in this case, I want to talk about when the cat is touching the red apple. So if the cat is touching the red apple, forever do what's inside of here. And well, the first thing I know I want to do is I want to have that chomp sound play. I want to hear the sound of the cat touching the apple. Then I want to switch the costume. You'll notice I have those renamed costumes in here. And those are renamed for my ease of use and my memory when I'm coding my game. So after we hear the chomp sound, I want to see the costume switch to cat flying OM red. And if we go back into our costumes here, we see CFOM red, and I've created a little image with the mouth open and a little smaller apple inside the mouth, just to give the illusion that that cat is eating the apple. Then I want to put a little bit of a wait time. So I want to wait 0.25 seconds. That's just to give the player just enough visual to know that the apple is in the cat's mouth. And then I want to switch my costume back to cat flying CF horizontal. So that's my view like you see right here. And then I've got this else statement. So my else statement is saying basically, if these conditions up here are true, do this. If these conditions are not true, well then do this. In other words, if my cat is not touching the red apple, always keep it at CF horizontal. Okay, so let's just test that out for a second. I'm just going to bring my apple out a bit. Okay, we'll get to the apple in a second, and I'm going to press play on my game. Let's just see. Okay. Okay, so now the apple is, sorry, the mouth of the cat is opening when it touches the apple. I've got my winning condition here because I've got a lot of points racked up. And that's okay. We can deal with that in a minute. But I know this part of my code is working. So now I'm going to switch back over to my apple. And remembering that I want to get my apple moving on the screen and also reacting to the cat. I'm just going to move my cat down here for now so that as my apple makes its way around the screen, I have some control. Last week we looked, and the weeks before, we looked at putting the apple in a random position around the screen. This week we're going to build a different skill. We're going to have the apple move along a horizontal plane in a consistent fashion. So, to do this, I'm going to start assembling the code that I have for you here. One thing I need to do is I need to get my if statement inside this forever loop. And just like in the other code, now when the game starts, my game is going to forever check if whatever's in here is true. And in this case, it's if the apple, so if the apple is touching the cat, I want to hide the apple. Okay, so that's the first thing. So let's test if that's working. I'm going to take my cat over, and it should disappear. Okay, good. Now that apple is actually still sitting right here somewhere. So if I want to make sure everything is showing, I can do that in here if I wanted to, but I'm actually going to use a different set of code blocks, and this is going to be the block that is also going to make the apple move and respond when it touches the cat. So just to get my apple back on the screen, I'm going to click show here. And that's, as you can see, my apple's still in the last spot where I left it. And I'm going to connect this to my when green flag clicked. In other words, when this game begins, show my apple. And for today's purposes, I'm actually going to have the apple go to a position x275, which is far over to the right, and y0, which is right in line with the center. So when I hit stop and hit start again, now that apple has moved all the way over there. So I've got my apple in its starting position. And I want it over to the right for this game because everything is kind of coming from the right and scrolling to the left. Okay, so next the question is, well, how am I going to get that apple to start moving? And what are the conditions I want to set up so that when it is, so that I can define what's going to happen when it is touching the cat and when it is not touching the cat. Okay, so let's try this out. I'm going to grab my forever loop, which reminder says that anything that is inside this container my game will constantly check whether or not those conditions are true. And the first condition I'm going to play with is an if statement. So if something happens, do this. And so the something happens that I'm going to be looking at, I'm going to use one of my operators first. And this is a bit of a departure from what we've looked at in the past. So, if something is true, do this. In this case, I'm going to say, if something is not true, then do this. And then otherwise, at all other times, do the other thing. So let's give it a try. So if apple not touching cat flying, I want the apple to glide for 3 seconds across the screen toward -260. So the middle point is 0 and the end point is approximately 240. So it's going to take me all the way across the screen and it's going to glide for 3 seconds. Then I want it to hide. So in other words, when it gets all the way to the right-hand side of the screen, I want it to disappear, go back to my starting position for the apple, which we defined up here was x275 and y0, pardon me. And then once it's back in that position, I want it to show. So let's give that a test and see what it looks like. Not bad. So now I've got this apple that is continually trying to slide across the screen. And now if I try and interact with the apple, let's see what happens. All right, so it eats the apple. The apple disappears. After it disappears, it goes back to its starting spot and starts sliding again. Awesome. So that's what we're going to cover for today. We went through a lot. Yes, so thank you for watching, and give it a try.